Looked into the Microwave podcast with me, Queen Tantan.
Hi, yo, yay! Divine's in the building with a whole lot to say. Get me?
Whoa.
Gang.
Mali's dead there. What, go on?
Yeah, okay,
Get me
guys.
live performance thing.
These guys were late once again. It's just so disappointing.
Listen, the weather, are you not seeing what Dennis is doing?
You get me?
Listen.
Do you not see what Dennis is doing?
You knew Dennis was there before you left your house. Dennis has been here for a few days now.
Bro, he was coming. The train was supposed to come here at 10 past 7.
All the trains were cancelled. Well, we're here, innit? We're here.
That's not good enough, though, because they never acknowledge.
We're here?
You don't say sorry to me.
We ain't got time. Hello, we're 10 minutes into the show.
I tried to give you a hug and you dissed me.
We're 10 minutes into the show,
You
love.
dissed me, TK.
Yeah, but do you see her? Do you know what I mean? Like,
No,
I'm
but
not
you
over
dissed me
here
though.
doing all that.
But you dissed me though.
Yeah, because you don't acknowledge it. You don't.
I acknowledge it. No, I'm trying to give you a big hug. I only give you a hug.
You're beefing already.
We are beefing.
man.
Because they don't acknowledge it. Like, no one even
acknowledge
acknowledges
it.
me.
You get me?
Oh, yeah, I'm the bad guy for being on time. For remembering our show, I'm the bad guy. It gets like that. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, I apologise live on radio. Sorry for being late.
All right, cool. We got to put in our place. We got to beef off air.
Beef off.
Thank you. You get me? Yeah. Thanks, love.
Thanks.
Where's my guy?
So, anyway, today's show. Firstly, I thought we could do an activity.
So did we.
Oh my God, I'm glad you said that.
Online thinking
Look,
about
she's
games
not
to play.
having none of it. What's the activity?
Don't want to like this right now. Hold on, let me just do a little bit of socials because people ask me. Just a quick social, say that we're locked into the show.
Man.
We're dead there. All right, cool. So what activity were you guys thinking?
So we were thinking either two truths and a lie, or I was thinking,
Not
what was
that
the other
one.
one?
Basically, we
Yeah,
didn't
you
really
can't
get
say yes or
service
no.
on the train.
You can't say yes or no. So
I'd
I
rather
say
that.
something, you can't say yes, so you can't say no.
I'd rather that, but actually mine was just to read out a quote, like my favourite like quote or like meme. Can I just read it out, please?
Read it out and do the yes or
Okay.
no. What's the...
Okay, yeah, but we'll do the yes or no one if
Alright,
you guys
go on,
are, because I'm
show
not. It's just so for my sister, at Tino, if you are listening. I saw this on the internet, and believe me, this is my sister. Soz, guys, 2 secs.
Wow, Tanaka, why do you always do this? Like, you can't...
It says, shut up.
Be ready.
What's the Afrobeat song that goes, oh my darling?
Oh my darling.
And then it goes, then there's a part that goes, sheesh kebab, sheesh
No, it's
kebab. That's the point, Mali. It's a meme, and he goes, I'm trying to find out, but who sings this? That's my sister. My sister never knows the words to anything.
hear that.
She'll be like, sheesh kebab, beb. Oi, the internet doesn't fail me. All right, go on, let's do your yes or no game then.
All right, so I'm going to ask you questions, and you can't say yes, and you can't say no.
So have you got the questions
I can't say
already?
yes or no.
So I'm going to say it off my head.
Oh, sugar.
All right, so you ready, Tanaka?
Okay, everybody lock in. If you're not already locked in, if you're locked in, tell us that you're locked in.
Yeah, man. Holler us.
All right, cool. So, do you love me?
Not right
Barely.
Are you happy today?
Of course.
Was we late?
Ooh, she got ya. She got ya.
Terribly.
Okay, I can't think of any more questions.
Did she win?
She didn't really win though. She had a lot of gaps between me asking her and her answering.
Well, you didn't tell me I had time limit. That's your problem.
Right, anyway, come on, man, let me do it.
Go on.
Do you smoke weed?
Maybe.
Do you drive?
Sometimes.
Do you fight?
Occasionally.
Are you pretty? That's not an answer!
Do you know how this game's supposed to work? It's
What?
not supposed to work like that, you know. We've done it before. Do you not remember at uni? I don't know if you were there. You're supposed to ask Mali a question, then Mali's supposed to hit me with a question, and I'm supposed to hit you with a question. And then that person, because I remember the person was like, turned around and was like, where's your eyebrows? And I lost because
What
I
if
was
it's
offended.
only between two people? How's that going to work?
I think you guys have to ask each
Go
other.
back and forth?
Yeah.
Really?
I think that's how the game works. So I remember I've done this. Candace, if you're locked in, how does it go? It's like the question game. So I think it is.
Really?
You're not. No, I think the question game. I remember getting confused. So instead of answering it with a yes or no, you don't answer at all. So you can't answer the person's question.
Okay.
So do you wear glasses?
Oh, and then I ask him and you go, okay. All right, cool, we got it. All right, anyway,
okay,
moving
cool.
on.
Moving on. So,
Well, go on, man. How we doing?
yeah, it's been all right, to be fair.
You know what? Can we just say, that our show last week, well, not last week, the week before, was so good. Like, honestly, I had so much fun 2 weeks ago. Why are you looking like that? Do you not agree?
I'm listening to you, Divine.
No, you didn't. She's literally looking at me like to say.
Don't get me involved. You lot do this
I
every
see.
week.
I hear when someone stand in the middle. You pick a side, brethren. Come stand in the middle
You
like
got
your
your own
nonsense.
things going on over here.
Every time I'm asking her a question and she's looking at me like, okay, like why, like and
I'm not saying anything.
whatever.
Go on, continue.
I'm gonna then
Let's
say.
get it popping. TK, get it popping.
Should we just quickly acknowledge the fact that Caroline Flack is deceased? Should we just acknowledge that? I just think, obviously, it's really difficult because I feel like everyone's been talking about it, so we just say RIP. I just feel like, I've got another quote.
Was that
Can
the
I?
Love Island
you
one?
can't.
The Love Island
Yeah.
post or something.
Yeah, I don't have Divine says I can't say another quote, so but it's basically just remembering that, try to be humanitarian. If you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, because sometimes you don't really know how deep someone else is going to take it and where they're going to take that.
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, this happens like all the time, and unfortunately, there's a lot of people who like complete suicide because of what's being said to them, like, online. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it happens to loads of people. Because Caroline Flack, obviously, it's a bigger deal now. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
So I think that it's a good thing that, like, awareness is being raised in this way because of the fact that it's happened to her. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it happens to people all the time.
Yeah,
but because
yeah,
Caroline's
it's just
like, now
shedding
it's a
light
big
on
thing.
it.
So I think it's good that, obviously, people are now actually deep in that you've got to be careful what you say.
I don't even know too much on it, but I seen something, and someone was saying, if it was a male, did she punch up partner or something?
She was getting accused of like abusing her partner.
Yeah, so I think I seen something about accusing her. I mean, if it was a male that was getting accused of physically assaulting her partner and then committing suicide, they wouldn't have showed as much sympathy
You reckon?
towards it.
See, I disagree, but anyway,
I don't
we're actually not
think
supposed to be discussing that for our show.
What? You just brought it up?
No, I know, but I said acknowledge. I did say acknowledge, I didn't say discuss. It's just because, something big's happened.
Well, we've acknowledged it. Let's move on then.
Yeah. Then, can I tell you? Okay, no, let's just get started.
Oh, is this the Tanaka show? Is it whatever Tanaka wants to say today?
Well, when Tanaka's the only one who shows up, then I guess
Shows
it
up, we're
is.
here, though, we're here.
I guess it is, when she
But
shows
we're
up on
here.
time and she's...
All right, can we put it to bed now? Let's get it cracking.
Why she's atting me?
No one's atting you.
Oh,
Don't
gosh,
try
can't
it.
even deal. Anyway, today's show is kind of funny because none of us are parents. Why did we pick this topic?
Because I seen people on the train arguing and there were black kids and I was like, should I jump in or should I not? And then I asked you guys if it was you, would you jump in? And then it sort of like
Escalated.
spiraled off
Okay,
from
so here we go. Today's topic, guys, is does it take a village? Does it still take a village to raise a child? If anyone doesn't know that saying, it's like a parable, I guess. It's like a little saying of like, takes a village to raise a child, basically insinuating that it takes more than the parents of the children to raise that child, the community around them, a support network, etc. And obviously, like Divine saying, she was obviously on the train, and I don't know if you guys have ever been somewhere and you see something and you're just thinking, nah, and you almost want to intervene. Is it still appropriate to do that? So while we've got him, my brother, who's actually a parent, we're going to just call him up in about the next 2 minutes, and he's going to give us his, I guess, immediate opinion on this. So 1 second while I dial him. Talk amongst yourself, guys.
What was the question that you asked?
The question was, because basically what had happened was, I was on the train and I seen like a group of kids, basically like, well, it wasn't even a group of kids, it was a group of kids come on the train, and one girl in particular was just like crossing like one of the other kids, and she was going in, like shouting, screaming, talking about she's going to punch him in his face, and all the kids around were like laughing and that, and obviously the kids, do you get what I'm saying? And like, yeah, like she was just cussing, and I was thinking to myself, like, should I go over there and be like, what is the problem? Because first of all, you're actually disturbing me. Like, I'm driving the quiet carriage, so first of all, you need to actually be quiet. That's number one. And number two, I just thought to myself, you lot being black kids, the first thing that people are going to see as a white person coming on the train is a group of black kids causing trouble. They're not going to know the ins and outs, what happened, why the girl's cussing. So immediately, I was just thinking, what would I do? Do you get what I'm saying?
You alright?
You alright? Come closer to your microphone.
I am.
Oh, okay then. Hold on, let me turn up the volume, see if I can get you any louder. Try now. Say hello.
You can't hear me?
No, we can hear you. You just sound a little bit far. Is it just me?
No, it's cool.
It might just be in the studio though. So basically, your immediate reaction to this, obviously none of us are parents, but I guess Divine is a big up auntie around here. She's got quite a lot of nieces and nephews and little cousins. I have one straightly One is my niece, and then I've got quite a few cousins and little cousins. Do you know what I mean? I'm quite a big cousin out there. Mally, what about yourself?
Yeah, I got 3 nephews, loads of little cousins.
Yeah.
I'm active.
And obviously you are a parent, so directly thinking, what would you say, Rango? You just got into... He was a bit reluctant to actually be on there because he was like, oh, what do I know? Like, I'm new to this. But realistically, Rango, being new to this, what do you think? Does it take a village to raise a child?
I think it also depends where you are in the world. So if you're like us still in Zimbabwe, the whole lifestyle is still based on like I'm going like to auntie's house, to grandma's house, to the next door neighbors, and kids can be on the street the whole day and anyone in that street can look out for them.
Yeah.
As for here, the setup is a little bit different, so it's difficult to have that community. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And obviously, but you still, like, Aya still sees Aya's my niece, guys. She still goes to grandma's house.
Yeah, that still happens, but that's because of the culture in me. That
Okay.
still forces those like the way I was brought up. It's important for me that Aya goes and sees and knows her cousins, and also doesn't lose the Zimbabwean culture, which I wanted to grow up knowing.
Okay.
So, but that's mainly driven by me.
Go on, Mally.
Yeah, I was like seeing them and whatnot. Like, I think I seen my nan regular, my aunties and stuff regular, but I don't know if I'd go as far as
The community.
that and raising.
Okay.
As in, like, bringing me up, like I can say they showed me this and that kind
Okay.
of thing.
Rango, how would you feel? I guess okay, let's say, obviously I'd say that mum kind of like, you have a schedule, obviously, with what Aya's used to, obviously. But I guess when she gets to our house, or even when she's with me, do you know what I mean? Not everyone's going to be the same. You know, I might be like to Aya, do this, or how do you feel about that? Like, if I'm saying, if I teach Aya something, how do you feel about that?
Well, I trust you. So as a parent, it's a matter of like the people that you allow your kids to go to. You trust that they're gonna be a good role model to your child, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So, and that goes with family, with friends. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, let's flip it.
Do you think do you think that you could do it like alone? So do you think that, you know, you could still raise Aya as successfully as you already are without her still going to her grandparents' house or being with their aunt? Do you think you could do all by yourself, basically? Or do you think that
we all need help, you know?
Yeah.
There's always things that you can learn from your parents, and it's not when you say community, it's not just family or friends. It's your circle that is there to support you and your child as a family. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's a contribution of everything. There's a lot of things that my parents or Tanaka or our friends that can contribute to raising my child.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So alone, there's only so much I can do, but you also have to rely on the nurseries, how they're raising your child, because they learn a lot from things from school, from nursery. So I have to trust and rely that she is also gonna be in a good community or environment to trust for her to grow up in. You know what I mean?
That's another question I wanted to ask you, because I know you can't stay for too long, but another question is, okay, so what about things like school? Do you trust the teacher? Because I guess when you're not there, and obviously Aya's still in nursery, but she has to come, she'll probably end up spending more time with the teacher than she does with you, realistically, at school.
100%.
Do you almost like put it in like, you know, like if Aya was to get in trouble and the teacher would say, no, Aya, or someone else was to say, no, Aya, step in, not someone in your circle, let's say even your neighbour, or, you know, do you trust that person to discipline your daughter?
Yeah, but it's also when it comes to things like school or neighbor, it's a lot of responsibility as well. So I have a duty to make sure that I have a relationship with that teacher or that school, and I also am actively involved. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like when I go to nursery, I'm not just picking up my daughter and then not saying hello or whatever, and then I'm going by my business. I want to know. I want to ask how they are, so I've got a good relationship with them. So they feel like I'm a good person and I'm good to them and I appreciate what they do and value what they do. And then that also builds that relationship and the trust that this person is going to also look after your child with care because you value them. Mm-hmm. And also being involved is the best thing you can do. Like go to the little functions that they put in place for you to know what your child's school or care is about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, any more questions before you let go? I've got one, but does anyone else have any more questions? I guess my last question is, taking away maybe that you're from a parent, do you feel like in this day and age that still exists? What do you think? Do you think that actually still exists? Not just as you, Ranga, but like in society, do you still feel like people still adhere to the fact that, you know, it takes more than just the immediate family to raise their children? Gotcha.
I think it's a mixture of things, man. I think what it comes down to is like there is still people that still rely on that, but it's a mixture, man. That's a tough one, because I also think that culture contributes massively to that. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, I've got some English friends who it's not that deep to see the cousins or to mingle with the brothers, or you know what I mean. Then I've got English friends who also see the value in grandma and grandpa and that channel, but it's not. You got me on the spot, man.
Gotcha, mate. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thanks Ranga, because you're actually one of our number one supporters. Like, you're always listening in.
Yeah, he's
I've got
active.
you guys, man.
Word up, my guy.
Yeah, much love, you know.
Yeah, I've got you guys. Don't worry.
Aww.
Okay.
Well, have a great meeting.
I would do. I even stepped away from Manchester, like from watching Man U playing as well.
Oh, I love that dedication.
Well, you wouldn't be missing much, would you, mate? Jokes.
All right, then, cool.
All right, in a bit.
See ya. Thank you. Bye. Coolio.
All right, leading off the back of that, guys, if you guys have any opinions, please let us know. I know most people in this room don't have children. Well, maybe. Online also. Not, what am I saying online? Listening on air. Maybe you guys don't have kids, but try to think of it like, if you see, like, you know, everyone's been on that bus or everyone's been in that shop or on that street when school kids are just doing stupidness. Everyone's seen that girl whose skirt is literally up her ass and, like, you can see everything. Like, everyone's been in that situation where you've seen children act badly. Do you intervene? Do you not intervene? Do you feel like it's your place to, you know, everyone knows someone's child who's like off the rails as well, or like, you know, that child that just doesn't behave. Do you get involved or do you not? So let us know. But we also have some...
I asked quite a few people. I've also scheduled for my sister as well, to be fair, like probably like later on.
Okay.
When I'm actually speaking back properly. But I did ask quite a few people about their opinions. Obviously, it's interesting because a lot of them are like of a younger age. A lot of them are like young mums, just probably had a child, and a lot of them are like probably like got like teenagers as kids and stuff like that. So I'm going to read a few of them out to let you know what they said. And the question was basically just, does it take a village to raise a child? So I have one person saying, I believe that is true. However, parents make a conscious decision to have children. So I believe they should make sure that they are raising their kids without expecting grandparents, family or friends to help raise them. It takes two people to make them. Not saying a little help here and there, but make sure as a parent you raise your kids as you are there to protect your own children.
I agree.
So I think she was more speaking on the basis of, when you're talking about raising a child, she's more talking about like, you know, having like your parents and stuff like look after them, if that makes sense. So she was more talking about like just like your generic stuff, like physical stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? I had another person that said, wow, this was a bit anyway, she was like, it can be done all by yourself, but she basically said you shouldn't have a kid if you need a village to raise it. It just means you ain't strong enough.
Whoa.
And it's best that the mum and dad are together raising it rather than having any input from outsiders to raise it. I understand what you're saying. Obviously, I don't agree with.
Is she a single mum?
She's not. She's raising it with their partner. But I said it. Oh my gosh, she's raising a child with her partner. Yeah. But I think that what I do agree with in terms of like, I think that sometimes when you do have outside influences, sometimes it just confuses the child a little bit, especially if what they're saying is different to what you're teaching them in the home. Yeah. So I think that that's probably the basis that she was coming off. Like, it's best just the mum and dad just to for them to start to teach them. Yeah. You know what is what.
I don't know if I agree.
I hear what you're saying, but I wouldn't completely agree to say that's what I believe as well. Let me get into some more deeper ones. I had some really, really interesting ones. So I had somebody here. This is quite long, but nevertheless, it's a really good one. She said, I think of myself as a conscious parent. My sole job job is to only make decisions my son isn't able to make for himself. Everything else is up to him. In order for me to do this correctly, I have to be the best version of myself and allow him to learn through me. If I trust in my own judgment, then I can trust in his. He is a reflection of me, but as time goes on and children become more independent, you cannot possibly be the only influence in their life. Even if the influences don't benefit your child, they still contribute to shaping them. It is genuinely all in the foundation. Now, if you have an unstable home, you no longer are raising your baby. I find that where there's no stability, children tend to seek it elsewhere. And two, find their parents have less of an influence over them. So basically they belong to the streets. So she was saying that as much as, she will do everything that she needs to do and build a foundation for her child, eventually at some point there's only so much that she can teach. There's only so much that she can have influence over. Like, she can't
and stop and prevent as well.
Think that, I told my son everything, or I told my son everything. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, he's going to go out and see stuff. He's going to be like, let me try that, or, I learnt this here. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay. I have one from a senior child officer. So basically,
Senior child officer.
Yeah, she's a child officer. And she says, I don't know about a village, but a good amount of nurturing people around a child definitely gives the child greater resilience and obviously a sense of belonging, full of relationships, love, care and advice that supports the child to stay true to themselves and be happy in their own skin. This is a broad statement and obviously depends on parenting approach. Environmental experiences, it's very difficult to get the balance right. Being consistent is important, I believe, which again can be difficult to maintain. Which I believe can be difficult to maintain. The individual child's personality will affect each of these factors, and there is so much to consider. Not a question that can be answered quickly, but a very good topic.
Okay. I was also speaking to somebody as well, and she was saying, which was really interesting, she was basically saying that like, whether or not, because I think as well, some parents, it's like a pride thing. Some parents, it's like, it's prideful for them to be able to say, no, I did everything for my child, I taught my child everything, and a lot of parents, especially like the younger parents, that's the pride that they have, because as a young parent, they want to, it's already like pressure for them to be the best parent as ever, being young. Do you get what I'm saying? Automatically, people sort of assume that they don't know what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. So I think that those kind of parents think to themselves, no, I don't need nobody, I can do it by myself, blah, 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 It's pride. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But somebody that I spoke to said that regardless of pride or whatever, at some point that needs to drop, because like, without us realising, socialisation has made us immediately like sort of like let our kids be taught by other people. Right. So obviously when you look at social media, Instagram, watching things on TV, YouTube, instantly there's so much information out there that your child has access to that there's never ever going to be just one teaching just by you. Like, it's not going to happen.
See, I think that sometimes when people take that approach, I think it's bad experiences. Yeah. But that's not... Okay, I get it, because obviously naturally, if I get burnt, I'm going to not go touch the stove again. My body will tell me like, ooh, and ooh, it's going to be hot. But I just think naturally, like, these people have had bad experiences, and it's quite a broad statement, wild statement, but it could be, I could see it as maybe a bit selfish. Do you know what I mean? Just because that happened to you does not mean that that's gonna, you literally need to be acting in the interest of your child. Everything is a risk. But another reason why I think that it's really important, again, I'm from an African heritage, so I believe that, like, the way I've been raised, honestly, when my parents migrated to England, they migrated to England when I was 3 years old. Do you know what I mean? They didn't leave me and like bring me over later. They brought me when I was 3. So in that case there, I was definitely raised by the community. Not like saying my parents did not get involved, that's not what I'm saying at all. They were definitely there and they did a lot for me, but they couldn't just rely on themselves because it's impossible. My parents were going to uni, coming from uni in the day, going to a night shift, going to uni in the night, do you know what I mean? They were literally like passing ships in the night, and therefore they actually brought over like an au pair, someone who they had to trust to be like, okay, you're gonna stay with Tanaka 247 to look after her. And then, you know, when I got a little bit older, and
sound like some rich kid.
No,
some butler, you know. You got
I lived in a 1-bedroom flat in tower blocks. It is the complete opposite to what you think. It is not glamour. It was probably like she was probably doing it for free, actually, the au pair, because she came to England for free in that case. But I do understand that actually, if I didn't have some of my mum's friends or my aunties and things like that, or people from church, you know what I mean, who would take me on a Friday or make sure that come and get me from church, you know what I mean, and things like that, then I don't know where I would actually be. So I do believe that it does take a village. And another reason why I think it takes a village, like, sorry to just put it out there, but you, for example, we always talk about, like, you know, your family situation, and you always tell me that there's certain things that you don't feel the lack of because you've got other things of. If your mum had not made sure she had built such relationships, if she had been like, I'm gonna do it by myself. Actually, you never know as a parent when you're gonna go. Do you know what I mean? You don't know when you think, when you're probably having a kid, you go, I'm gonna be there forever and ever and ever, or not. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately, there's situations that happens that you can't be there forever and ever and ever. And in that case, if you've built an island, people are gonna be so scared to even intervene with your child.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying to Mali, actually. Sorry, do you want to speak?
No, go on. I'm gonna in a second. Go on.
No, because
I'm just letting you have your thing. Don't worry, man.
I was saying to Mali that where I was looking at it, the reason why I agree that it does take a village is because obviously I've been almost like raised by so many people. Like obviously, like I've got 4 sisters. I live with my nan for a bit. I live with my sister for a bit, and now I live with my dad. Do you get what I'm saying? So like I live with so many different people, and when I think about the kind of person that I am and everything that I know, I can't sort of say, oh, this person taught me this, and just have it be one person.
Yeah.
It's always based on so many different experiences and so many different conversations I've had with so many people. Do you know what I'm saying? Even like my best friend's mom, like T's mom, like the amount that she's taught me is mad. Do you get what I'm saying? And like, that's just a friend's mom. So if someone like her can teach me certain things that I wasn't even taught like by my nan or by like, you know, my dad or certain things like
different
that,
people.
then that makes me know that for me it does take a village, because there's certain things that I wouldn't know if I didn't branch out and have those people be in my life. Do you get what I'm saying?
Are you saying something?
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying. I don't think, like, this is what I'm saying. I've always gone to my nans, gone to my aunties and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think that I can say they raised me. If that makes, like, everything I've learned, I can say, oh, my dad's taught me this and my mum's taught me this. It's only when I'm old, like, I'm not a child now. It's only when I'm older, like when I'm at my auntie's now, I'm having some real reasoning with my my auntie and them things, or my older cousins and them things. But I wasn't having them growing up. It was just the kind of thing is what my mum and my dad taught me how to behave, and when it's the same thing, like my aunties and that believed in the same thing. So certain things you do at home, you do when you're at your nans, you do at your auntie. So I weren't really giving them any. I don't think they taught me anything that I didn't know already, if that makes sense. Apart from when I'm growing up and getting older and just conversation wise and stuff, they've taught me stuff. But that when I was already grown then, so I don't think they've raised me.
Someone said, I hear what you're saying. It says, I think nowadays you can't intervene because people are so easily offended. Maybe that's why people just leave it. But I feel like at times, and definitely times, you would feel like you want to intervene. Or if it's a family member or friend, depending on my relationship with their parents, I would definitely intervene.
But
What is that if they're behaving badly?
I think in general, like even if your child's doing something that, like, don't touch that, or like something small like that.
That's what I was going to say to
Sometimes
Mali.
parents are like, wait, no, don't, like, tell me and I'll tell my child
not
don't
to.
tell my child directly.
I would only, me personally, and I know, without going into detail, my basically on my dad's side, he's got 11 sisters and brothers, so I know between the siblings, they've had them sort of arguments and stuff with us,
like,
kind of thing. Yeah. With me, I probably won't. The only time I would intervene and whatnot is if it's a danger to the child, kind of thing. That's the only time I wouldn't even think twice. Even with my nephews, like my sisters, she's never said, anytime I'm saying anything to obviously she must trust me, but anytime I'm saying anything to my nephews and whatever, she's never intervened and said, don't tell them or blah, blah, blah. And that. But even so, I'll run it past, just certain things, I'll run it past them just in case.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I think that's another thing. So 2 points I've got. Firstly, you said that they didn't raise you. I actually think you're probably, obviously, maybe, I don't know what you're expecting. Maybe they didn't teach you how to brush your teeth or how to comb your hair. But actually, them maintaining the same values that your parents did actually helped you install them. If you went to your auntie's house, and your mum's let you go to your auntie's house, and let's say at home, you've been told to make the bed, and you get to your auntie's house, and your auntie doesn't question you if you don't make the bed.
Yeah.
She's not doing a good job. Because actually, she's making, your mum's work is basically going in the bin, which is why people are careful with social media and stuff like that, because you're telling your child, do not swear. They go online, they're effing and blinding. Do you know what I mean? That's why people get like, oh, it's annoying, because it's like, opposite
So it's
poles
just
pulling.
instilling
So I think actually part of, someone like my auntie, oh my gosh, Auntie Angie, like literally, I'll be in trouble at home, go to church on Saturday, think I can pull a trick and be like, oh, I know, I'll go to Amanda's house. I'll be like, oh, can I go to your house? Believe me, when I get there, the same punishment that my mum had set up for me at my house is going to be there at Aunt Angie's house.
No, but that's...
She'll be like, oh, do you think I know? Oh, you're not going anywhere. I'll be like, oh my God, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
And that's really important, because then I have other otherwise, the danger with when parents know, when kids know, kids are not stupid. Kids know what they can get away with.
100%.
And their parents even worse, because even though parents think that, oh my God, I'm their parent, I know their mum, I'm telling you as a child, you don't know everything about me. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Parents don't know everything about their children. That's just a fact.
Nah, 100%.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? That's natural. But the thing is, why you got to be careful is listen to what other people are saying, because them people there, they see your children in eyes that you don't see your children. Your child will act a certain way when their mum's around, because you know, oh my gosh, if my mum's here, I'll tell you, Divine, okay, my mum's here, just clean that, she ain't gonna, you know what I mean, she ain't gonna look there. Do you know what I mean? Because I know you. Do you know what I mean? I know you the way you go. But someone else's mum will be like, nah, trust me, your child is rude.
But you know, where I was coming from it as in, you know, like when Divine said that she's been around different people and they've taught her this and taught her that. But what you're saying, Tanaka, is that when I'm going to these different places, the same things that I already know, they're happening there, but it's just reinstall it. Like it can't change. But I already kind of knew that. Like if you're talking about the bed, I know I have to make that damn bed. Or you get what I'm trying to say. But I'm saying I don't think going to my aunties or what if they've taught me something
that's not being already taught in the house.
That I can come back home that my mum and dad ain't really told me already. You get what I'm trying to. Where I'm saying, mum or dad, auntie such and such told me this, or uncle such and such told me this. You get what I'm trying to say? It already really happened, kind of thing.
The reason why I feel like we need to have input as well is just because, like, otherwise you end up having kids who will raise themselves, literally. Like,
1,000%.
This girl, so when she was like, how they'll basically like belong to the streets. Like, you will have kids that will eventually like raise themselves. Like, okay, not to get too like into the details, but if you think about, let's say, sex, for example, when a child hits puberty, like, if they're, let's say, like, if they're like a daughter being brought up with their dad, and their dad doesn't know how to speak to her about that, or they don't even know how to approach their dad with what's happening with them, how is their dad supposed to even explain to them what you need to do? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, when you hit puberty as a woman, you're now supposed to be getting that talk about sex, about, you know, where you need to sit, what you need to wear, things, all those things you need to have that conversation
100%.
about. A man doesn't know that. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you're a father, let's say Ranga, for example, like when he hits that stage, he's going to need to be able to say, okay, Tanaka, talk to Aya, because right now I don't even know how to deal with the situation.
Funnily enough, you say that. In my culture as well, my mum never had that conversation with me, you know. She added on. She did. But she sent me to my grandma. She sent me to my grandma to have that conversation. I don't know. I actually
probably think she's better equipped for it, though.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because it's awkward, or is that what you do? You know, they even say in my culture, when I have a boyfriend, you know, it's a bit harder to maintain this in England because of just like location and how England is built and how the houses are set up. Whereas in Zimbabwe, you know, it's like open
you can just go there.
But how it's supposed to go is once I've got a boyfriend who's ready to marry, or not even just a boyfriend who I think is serious enough to introduce, he's not supposed to go to my parents' house.
You're supposed to go to your
He's
elders.
supposed to go to my auntie's house. My dad's sister, not my mum's sister, because my mum's sister is seen as my mother because she's my mum's mum.
Yeah.
She's my mum's sister. So it's like another version. She's supposed to go to me. I'm supposed to take him to my dad's sister. And the point of that is that that person can obviously give me a little bit of advice. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And therefore, if I end up taking multiple, I haven't taken multiple home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've taken multiple to my aunt's house.
Like
and that aunt, it's like a pre-approval. And she's my dad's sister, so she's kind of like, you know, the kind of cooler, the linear one. Yeah. And if that boy is saying like, right,
what, this is in your culture,
this is in my culture.
Oh, so
this is how
what
it goes.
you're supposed to do.
Exactly how it's supposed to go.
Carry on.
If he then says, I want to marry, he has to tell the auntie. And then that auntie would then
run it past.
Tell my parents and say, you have a visitor who wants to, you know, who's got some strong intentions. You know, and that's how it's supposed to go. It's not supposed to be just like straight up, you know, So I definitely think Africa is built in a way of that whole village thing. But the good thing about that, obviously I'm not going to be ignorant to the fact that, do you know what, some people do not have good intentions. That's it.
Yeah.
Some people do not have good intentions. Some people get jealous. You know, with kids as well, people get jealous. Oh my God, that child is smart. Oh my God, that child's pretty. Oh my God, that. You know, people do get jealous, and I get it why parents should be scared. But I do think it's so important just because if obviously with that thing, do I intervene? I have intervened sometimes. Like, do you know when I intervene mostly? You know when kids are pushing and shoving onto the bus?
Yeah.
I'm all here for it, but a lot of the time, they're not watching their surroundings.
Yeah.
I'm 23 and I can probably, if you push me, I can probably get up and heal probably okay. However, around there's like someone who's in a wheelchair, somebody else who's holding a baby, and kids are just so unaware. So I often be like, stop. And I literally hold them, stop pushing.
Yeah.
And like, they turn around and look at me and they're like, oh. I'm like, don't do that. Wait until you get upstairs and then do whatever monkey business you want to do in your little space. But as for here and now, you need to stop doing that. I do it all the time because when I get off the bus at 3, it's that I can't get through.
Yeah.
They think they own the road.
Yeah.
With me, with intervening, it depends how serious. Like, you see, like when you were talking about the arguing thing, if it was 10 people on one girl, or 10 any like a bunch of people on one person, I don't think I can see that in my stomach to work. I'm not in the bullying kind of thing. But I'm always hesitant to intervene because I know how I was as a kid. So a random person couldn't really tell me nothing. But I have one thing that I do when I do intervene. Like even when some free kids, Romanian kids come into my shop, they come into my shop all the time and that, but they're rude. But something with rude kids, like they don't mind talking to me. But what I do, I won't say nothing to them as in what they're doing wrong or blah blah blah. Or I'll try get on their wavelength. So whether we're busting joke about something, I don't know what it is at the time, but I'll do something so there's already some respect there before I then tell them. Like then I'll tell them, yo, there's certain things you can't do in the shop, bro. You got what I'm trying to say and whatever, and then I'll carry on just naturally running. Like I do like them, so we'll just carry on talking, but I won't tell them certain things straight away. And that's what I think. Like I wouldn't really. If I don't respect you or whatever, I'm not going to listen to you. And that's how I was with certain things.
So obviously, my part-time job is obviously I work at like children in foster homes now. There's one rule of thumb that I do. If I'm going into a foster home, I would not walk in. You see this headscarf on my head? I wouldn't go in with it. Instead, I would choose to go in with a baseball cap instead. Do you know what I mean? Purely because I understand as well with my teachers, I'll look at you up and down and then decide if I should listen to what you have to say. Do you know what I mean? Some people just look so like, oh, you're just like, and that's not how it works. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that your looks determine what you're...
Not at all, but it comes in your head.
To the kids, So when I walk in a way like, I remember last time there was a new child at the place and I had my 98s on and he was like, but they were at the door. He was like, whose shoes are these? Already he's inquiring, who is that? So when he stepped to me now, he was a little bit like, do you know?
You're part of the gang. It's not the fresh things.
Right. So therefore we already, without saying anything, we already...
100%.
He's not going to play them kind of game because there's like certain like little underlying spuds that have already happened.
I keep forgetting that I've got this. I've got so much to say. You don't keep thinking it.
Well, I ping first now, so mate.
But I understand what you're saying as well. Another thing about approaching people in a group outside is really think, is this really worth it? Because little kids, when they're in numbers, oh my gosh, we're invincible. That was me as well on the train home. Couldn't tell me anything. Couldn't tell me absolutely anything. I'm going to make all the noise I want. So you got to be careful who you intervene with. But then I do say sometimes, I do intervene. There was these two kids. If you know where I live, I've got like these like, what do you call it? Granite, slate? I don't know, like little things outside the thing.
Gravel.
Gravel, whatever it is. And these kids, I could hear them.
Dashing out the window.
No, they wanted to dash it at me.
Huh?
Just randomly?
At home me.
Are you?
And randomly. They were so young. Yeah. They were on their bikes.
Some kids are just rude.
And I could hear them because, they'll stop. And they were like... And you know where my bins are? So basically I've got like a bin house, if that makes sense. So they're hiding behind that bin house. But I can see them. So I waited to the side and waited until they came round. And when they waited, I was like, boop! Like literally, I was so literally, I stepped to them. And I was like, why are you running? What are you doing? I was like, put it down. It was already like in his hand. I was like, put it down. I was like, if you don't go home right now, I'll go home with you.
Was it boys?
Two little boys. They were really young, to be fair. Because in that situation, in my defence, your mum's not doing a good job, so let me help her.
It's not necessarally doing a good, like, you
well,
got what I'm trying to say.
Maybe she's told them, but clearly you don't listen. Either you don't listen.
Because obviously that's what it is, though. But even with that now, like how you've pulled, if you just said instead of pulling up on them and you just seen them like just like you weren't like how you never scared them and that, if you just went oi blah de blah, I think that's kind of wrong. Like they're just gonna laugh, get off, do it again. Whereas I would pull up to them like how you did, scare them and whatever, met them on, but like, yo, you used to do this stuff, but you can't be throwing things at just random people and catching them off.
I didn't even have that kind of access to explain because you're actually silly. You're holding granite. You don't know what I'm like. This is what I'm saying. Kids don't understand, which I understand. Like it's fun. That's all it is. It's fun. It's not like
that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's really bad intent in what they're doing.
They're not always there for bad intent necessarily, but in history there's been kids that killed people with an oop, and you've killed someone because you're not realising. You don't know if I've got a scar at the back of my head. You don't know if you're going to hit me and I'm going to fall over forever. Stop doing that. What gives you it was kind of evening times. I don't think it was late, but it was dark. You're out in a private, every time you get to some people's doors, when you play Knock Down Ninjas, that's private property. You're actually on private property now. So here you are in my little, my house is closed off, in my little private property, on your bike, trying to throw stones at me. Are you crazy? I'm not, we're not going to deliberate here. You think you can scare me? No, babe. Lol. I'm about to scare you.
When we're saying, does it take because this is still from before. Sorry. But when we're saying, does it take a village to raise a child? So we're not talking family, we're talking outside of family.
Yeah, that's where it was inspired by because of what happened on the train. So not even just talking about family, just people like, you know.
Because
outside.
you know how I'm saying, like, I don't, when I've gone to these different places, I don't think, but I know, like, especially with my brother, because obviously I live with that brother, there's a lot of things that I'll teach him or I've shown him and whatever that my mum and dad ain't shown me.
Yeah.
But me, when I'm saying to you, I don't think no one else but my mum and my dad, it's because I haven't got an older brother, so I'm just getting everything from my mum and dad. Whereas Deontay now, he'll tell you obviously if he admits it, but there's a lot of stuff that I've shown him and told him. Or as well, what my mum and dad want to say, it'll be me to bridge the gap then to get the communication. I'm like the communication line. Like he won't listen to what, but he'll hear it from me kind of thing.
Yeah, that's important as well. So just to reintroduce what we're talking about, just because I know that some people will be like, I've just locked in. So we're just discussing the whole, we're just like exploring the whole, does it take a village to raise a child? So that's what we're going on about. So if you do have any opinions, do let us know. Do, you know, put your input in. Divine, what are you exploding to say?
Basically, I was going to say, that I just feel like the reason I'm so passionate about intervening, even though obviously I pick and choose, but at the same time, I'm trying to push myself to always intervene, especially when it's a group of black kids.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like, these are the same black kids that in a few years' time are going to be coming to me asking for mentorship. Because something's happened in their life and and blah, 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 and it's like, as much as, you can walk up to them and they can be like, F off, blah, 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 chat shit, whatever. But I'm telling you now, in 2 years' time, or when they go home and they're all by themselves, that's going to run in their mind what I've said to them.
Yeah.
It is going to run in their mind. So even if they don't receive it right there and then, it's cool, because I know that I'm not chatting shit to you. So eventually, you are going to hear that back. I know there's times where like, people have said to me things like coming home from school and, like, people on the bus have said things to me. I'm like, whatever, But now I've sat here and I'm thinking,
but why?
Someone said to me one time, you know,
like,
blah, blah, blah. I don't know who the person is. I don't know why they said it to me, but it makes sense now. Do you get what I'm saying? Those things that someone said to me, even though at the time I'm thinking, whatever, I don't want to hear it. It's made sense to me now. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's why I would say I'd push myself to intervene, because I just feel like, especially as black kids, we all have a responsibility to make sure that they do what they need to do. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you don't even know what home they're coming from. More time, the reason why they're acting bad is because they don't even want to go home. Do you get what I'm saying? We don't even know what's happening at home, and when they do go home, whatever they're going through, they can't speak to their parents or whoever is at home. So even to know there's somebody there who even cares for them enough to intervene in a conversation, that will be that one thing to make them think, okay, cool.
Another reason why I intervene is because, obviously, myself, I know that for some of these kids, your mum is at work. You're acting stupid and your mum is at work. Do you understand that your mum is working so that you're not doing these monkey business on the street? Everyone is looking at you. Do you know what I mean? When you're young, you don't really understand the perception of the world.
You don't.
Everyone is looking at you like you're stupid.
And you don't care
you
either.
Don't care. But actually, a time's going to come when you're going to care. And it's reflecting badly on somebody who's at work for you. And actually, the last thing they need is for them to be getting a call because of your stupid behaviour, or for them to having to be paid loads of money because you're, you know, doing this and doing that, like vandalising the train. Like, it's just not necessary. So therefore, babe, I'm about to tell you. And like Divine says, I guess it's that thing of like, I don't know, like, I think as well, doing so. Sorry, another reason why I don't agree with like not letting people raise your child is because it shows them love. It's not for everybody, but it does show your child love that actually, you know, it's very, you know, if your parents don't, if your aunties and stuff don't get involved as well, or if people don't get involved with you,
don't care.
What's gonna help you?
100%.
You think that people don't care, and also what's gonna like make that person, if their friend is getting bullied at school by other people and they can see someone else getting bullied at school, are they gonna speak? No, because their family just keeps themselves to themselves.
Yeah, nah, defo.
Do you know what I mean?
So it's kind of selfish, kind
babe,
of thing.
if you teach them, do you know what I mean? Like, if I tell you, no, that's not good, do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna tell you now, that's not good, and I'll tell your friend that's not good. I expect you to then keep that same thing and be like, nah, man, that's not good. If someone's doing something else. So I just think it's like a self-perpetuating thing. Do you want to say something just to get in towards the end of this?
Can we call my sister?
Yeah, definitely.
I hope she's listening to this, because I haven't actually messaged her.
Yeah,
Probably is, man.
Definitely.
What time would call her? So
sick.
hopefully she's active.
Sick.
All right, we'll
But
talk
then
about
again, she hasn't been messaging, so I don't know. But let's see.
I don't know. I feel I'm agreeing with it, you know. But like outside the family, I don't think. Because I don't think a lot of people would raise me.
Outside of family is important as well, because, like I'm saying, like Auntie Flo, Auntie Angie, these people I say auntie and auntie, they're not my aunties. Divine fully well knows that they're not my aunties. Ooh.
How are you, love?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, we're just caught. Are you listening to us right now?
I wasn't.
I knew you weren't.
Wow.
Conversation. I'm sorry. I got into a conversation with my brother, and I literally had to cut him off the phone just now.
It's
Yeah,
all right,
I thought
man.
as much because I'm thinking to myself, we're having this discussion and you haven't messaged yet. So I'm thinking, what's going on?
Is it been juicy?
Yeah, it has been juicy actually, but obviously, you know, we want to hear what your opinion is on us raising. Well, does it take a village to raise a child? Huh? Oh, and come a bit closer to the mic actually, because it's a bit quiet.
I don't know if
Can you
it's the
hear me?
studio, if it's actually...
I can hear you still.
Talk now.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're a little bit better now. All right then, yeah. So
Let me take out the hands-free. 1 minute.
Hands-free.
Hands-free. That's a bigger man word that is, you know. Girls are hands-free. Oi, oi.
Is that better?
same, but it's
This is
fine.
fine.
Yeah, it's cool.
So yeah, what's your thoughts on does it take a village to raise a child? Obviously, you know, you've got, you know, one child who's a big old picnic now, 16 basically. So what do you think about this? Oh wait, guys, basically this is Melissa, by the way, who was talking to us about the homeless stuff before. So, you know, she's very familiar.
Back with some gems.
Very familiar with this, do you know what I mean? So yeah, go on.
I would say through experience, at first, not that I wouldn't say that, yeah, it takes a village to raise a child, but because I'm so, like, proactive and I'm so, like, love to be in control where, you know, not in a bad way, but I love to be in control. I'm quite precise with everything I do and stuff like that and organised. I was more so like, okay, it's fine, I can do this, I can do it by myself, but I feel like when it comes to life experience in general, and also like the mental development of a child, because I think that's the most important part of raising a child. I think people always think, oh, you need money because clothes and this and food, and that's cool. That's
the bare minimum.
The mental health of a child is the most important part of raising a child, and I feel like it does take a village, because although people always call me and want advice on this and want advice on that, it came to a point with myself where I feel like my daughter, because I'm mummy, and as much as she sees me helping other people, because I'm mummy, it's kind of like, oh, I can't really, not that she can't speak to me because she can, but it's like, oh, I'll try to talk to someone else. Yeah. So Divine has played a huge role when it comes to raising my child. I always say that she's my sister baby father.
Yeah, sister baby father, I know.
She's my sister baby father. But also, I have, like, people that I class as my brothers. I have about 4 of them, and they're not blood related, but blood isn't nothing. They're my brothers, and they, right now, are significant in my daughter's life, where if she needs to speak about whatever it is, she's got them to speak to. So I do believe that it
has she been though?
Sorry?
So you know when you're saying like they're significant, like has she been going to them though? Just as the only reason why I'm saying it is because I was saying basically before is that like I've got like my aunties blah 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 basically, and I went to all these places regular, but I don't think they raised me in the sense that the things that my mum and dad taught me when I was going there, it was the same principle. So they wasn't telling me nothing new. Instead, they was just reinstilling the same thing. Like I knew whatever I was doing at home, I had to do there, kind of thing. But I don't think they told me anything new, or when I'm coming home, I'm saying, Mum, Auntie told me this, or Dad told me this. It was only when I'm older, when I'm having these, like I'm not a child no more, but we're having big grown conversations and stuff that they're showing me insight and stuff. But I don't think that was the case when I was a child, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, okay, but in that sense I kind of get what you're saying, but when it comes to things like, okay, if your mum was going through an issue with you as a child, whether it's during your rebellious stage or whatever, or it could be in the sense where, you know what, because it happens with me and my daughter. He's picking it listening to me. He's picking it listening to me. Or, not that she doesn't listen because she does listen, let me not lie on her. But she's kind of in that stage now where...
She's a teenager, so she's got forming her own opinions, like...
I'll literally be like, you know what? I just need to phone Divine, or I just need to phone my brother, because right about now, I'm going to Clark, yeah, so speak to them because they might be able to get through to you better than me. To me, that is also a village raising a child. Yeah. Because they're putting their input, do you understand what I'm trying to say? And they might get through to her in a way that I'm not getting through to her because I'm angry or she's in her feelings or whatever the case may be. There was an occasion, I know you might have to, there was an occasion where she was feeling some type of way about some stuff that she's battling to do with, I'll just be honest, to do with her dad. And basically, she made a statement and I didn't like the statement. And
to you?
She spoke to her God. Yeah, she spoke to her. She made a statement in general at school.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, wow, like, okay. So I literally phoned her godfather and I was like, you know what? Have a conversation with Shayla. And he came down and I was out of the room and then she spoke. And the things that she said to him,
she never said to you.
She's never said to me. And one of the things she said was, I know my mum, I've watched her go through like a whole heap of stress. I don't want to go put any more stress on her. Yeah. So in that case, it's a village raising a child because if he didn't speak to her, she would have never got it out in no other in that way, and could have been a lot worse. Do you understand what I mean? So when it comes to, like, as I said, the mental health of a child, I feel like that kind of gets pushed. As I said, people more focus on what they can give their child to eat and what they can put the clothes on the back. That's not really, it's essential, but it's not the be all and end all of raising a child. It's more what a child goes through and all the rest of it. So,
and I also
bottom line, it does take a village.
I also think it's important, like you're saying, just, you know, even if she wasn't going to go talk to, like, her uncles or Divine, you've signposted them. So if she knows they're there, do you know what I mean? So if ever, like, you know what I'm like with my Auntie Flo, like, she's not my biological, like, she can't have her own kids, do you know what I mean? So, and I've always
I just class that as family.
She is my family, but, like, even if sometimes I don't want to talk to Auntie Flo, or, like, if I'm having an argument, she'll call me, I'll be like, I'm still not talking to you either. Do you know what I mean? But then later, I'll be like, I think I'd rather talk to Auntie. Do you know what I mean? I know she's there. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them ones, and I think that's really important. When you don't signpost your kids to anyone and they don't want to talk to you, or you're unavailable, or, you know, that does happen when your parents, like I was saying, like, my parents were always at work because of just, like, the thing. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, the last thing they're going to want to talk about is this, or something like this. Like, who is your child going to go to? And then that's when you leave them feeling not stable, and then you've lost them to everybody else, or to the first Instagram video that pops up.
And it's like, it's not even what you say, it's like how you say it. So it doesn't matter. Like, me and my sister will literally have the same, like, telling my niece the exact same thing. But the way how my sister says it and the way how I say it is obviously different. Do you get what I'm saying? And sometimes she'll hear it from my side. Do you get what I'm saying? Or sometimes she'll even hear it from my side. But then if her uncle jumps in, then she'll hear it from his side. Do you get what I'm saying? We're all saying exactly the same thing, but it's coming from different people.
True that.
And they'll listen to depending on who it is.
Before I went to university, this lady told me, oh my gosh, this lady made me cry. She was like, if you go and fail at university, I'm telling you now, my daughter's gonna fail. And she was like, me and her daughter was only like 3 years apart or something like that. But it just so happened to be that, like, I just got along with her. Joanna's, I've got, like, my little cousins who are all, like, around the little same age, call themselves I could literally say the same thing that their mum just saying, but because I said it, it works. But when mum's saying it, it doesn't work. But maybe that's because, like, you know, you got past with your mum. She's already been annoying you all day. Now she said this, it's like, I'm certainly not listening. Or I don't know, it's like stubbornness. So it's really important to have them different, and that's just how it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you definitely.
Hello?
But you definitely do. I thought the phone cut off. You definitely do. But as I said, all the, referring to what Mally was saying, all the stuff, morals and all that stuff, that obviously it has been embedded from me. But when it comes to, you know, that age, my daughter is nearly 16, like, you're trying to find yourself, and it's almost like,
and you're seeing an adult and stuff.
You can go to someone else.
Okay.
And I always say to my daughter, it's not about me, it's about you getting it out. So
this is what
that's what I was saying earlier. It's coming from, I think it's
not a pride.
It's not pride. That's your pride. You know what you were saying about, like, I know you didn't go into detail, so I'm not, like, jumping off the wagon, but you know what you're saying, like, they'd had prior issues. Your uncle, your dad or whatever, and his, you know, that family had prior issues. That's them taking it into like, they're thinking about them. Are you thinking about yourself, or are you thinking about what's necessary?
Because you're robbing your child of actually getting that teaching. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not about, like what she's saying, it's really not about you. Like, if you know that you can get that teaching from somebody else, send your child there, like, it is what it is.
I have a cousin whose parents, like, don't let her come. I don't even know, because they've beefed my parents in the past. Her chilling with me can sometimes be an issue. Her coming to sleep at my house, which is literally like 15 minutes from my house, can be an issue. And it literally flabbergasts me, because she comes to me about everything, but her mum is not happy about that because she beefs my mum. That's not my business. What's that got to do with me?
That's why I asked when you said does it take a village to raise a child? Is it outside of family? Because I don't know if I can really like.
What's
I can't.
family though? Family is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, as in whatever you want it to be. So whatever you're calling family,
Yeah.
outside of that, like, does it take a village outside of family?
Yeah, because my daughter's got teachers. I'm thankful for it. I mean, where my daughter does go to school, people say, "Oh, why do you think you don't get out?" I'd prefer that so that she knows how to deal with the world.
Yes.
But, she's got some teachers, male and female, and they're black, and I'm so glad because I did not have that unless to dash in any little mentor for flipping half an hour. But the teachers that she has, her head of year and her house and social care teacher and her IT teacher, they're black, and trust me, having them there
is amazing. Yeah, godsend.
It's proper. Like it helps a lot because even then she can hear from their point of view. And as my sister said, they're saying the same thing.
Yeah, but
it's their way of saying it. So again, that's village.
But you know what? Mine with that then with the teacher thing. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I haven't had I've had bad boy teachers, mentors, the same couple of them with the black, like they're black and that. But I don't think they've said anything new. I just feel like
I know what you're getting twisted. I know. You see that word raise? I think you're kind of like pinpointing on that. That what I class as raise is pouring water on the plant.
Okay. I know.
Pouring water. That's pouring water on the plant to help it grow. Yeah. So it's not so much okay.
Yeah, I do think they help me grow.
You're living with me, and it's what the input is, and you've been significant in that person's life.
Yeah. Isn't it me? I always talk about like to divide it. In it, since I've talk about some of my teachers. I've literally talked about like, here we go. Whatever. I'm obsessed with my secondary school. I am obsessed with my secondary school because I still have my uniform, the whole shebang. Ew, you know this already. Because I had some teachers there, that honestly, I have actually zero clue where I'd be. Like, it was that teacher who would tell you the realest that. Even if there and then I'm quite, I could be quite stubborn, quite sassy. Right there and then I wouldn't show I was listening. I'd be like, can I go now? Do you know what I mean? But actually, till now, I'm telling you, I tell Devon all the time, well, Miss this once said to me, and it resonates to me, and I'll find her one day and be like, listen, Miss, you know what you said to me? She probably won't remember who I am because I don't know how many people she has in like a spectrum, but like with me, like I really understand what she used to say. Every single one of my teachers, even for me to get into like to college, to Brit school, like they sat after, see someone who would go after school with you and be like, do your audition, let me watch you, let's get this teacher to watch you because they haven't seen you rehearse. If that's not love, like I don't know what. That's your job.
It's the same thing. The same thing to Naka saying. It's the same thing. You would know, Divine. I've been to my primary school. I haven't been for probably about a good 6 years, but I'm 33 in like this year. So that 6 years I haven't been is not nothing.
It's not nothing.
Up until that, I will go to my primary school, my first primary school where my nursery teachers are. Still there, and I will go there and I will literally say, Miss, I'm here. And they'll be like, and they'll take me around the classroom and be like, she used to be here how many years ago? And that is also village raising. They didn't raise me, but obviously I spent a lot of time with them, and there were significant teachers that were significant in my life at that time. And I'm like, what, 4, 5, 6, 7?
Yeah, I do think there was significant.
We'll go and check them now till this day. I will go.
So just before, Melissa, can I ask you a question though? So we spoke about teachers, we spoke about family, and like obviously what we call our family. Let's say now she's on the bus.
Yeah, she's on the train.
Yeah, on the train.
She'll catch bus.
Okay, whatever. Let's say she's on the train, she's acting stupid with her friends. Do you appreciate if somebody else says, guys, stop that?
Oh, hell yes.
I thought she'd say how no.
No, I was going to say how no, but I say wait,
oh, yes. Because listen, don't get it twisted, you know. You have to know your boundaries when you're dealing with people that you don't know, when people's kids. So let me say that first and foremost.
Yeah, true.
I'm the person, I don't catch public transport, but I could be on the road somewhere and I see especially black kids acting a certain way, and I'll be looking at them and say, does this look good? Do you think this looks good? It don't look good, you know. And I will start preaching, and I will preach, and I'll preach. So for me to turn around and say someone else to tell my child that, and I'll be like, how no? No, how yes? Put them in their place and make them look stupid and make them know this is not the way they're supposed to be behaving. And it's as simple as that. Not because, they don't. As I said, there's a boundary. There's a tone you can speak with that is, you know, appropriate, and there's no hands dragging or anything like that. But of course, you can look at them and say, listen, no.
I think you should. if like the right opportunity is there to do it, and you know you're gonna like adapt to them,
Okay,
and
how
if you
about
think you can adapt to that person or relate to them, sorry, and then they can listen to what you're saying,
Yeah.
then I think you
Then
should.
it's about you, Mally.
Huh?
But then it's about you, because you're more thinking that you're thinking to yourself, like, if you're like 30
Yeah.
and you're speaking to a child that's not even 30, because you could be whatever. Basically, you're saying that if you feel like the child's not going to respect you, not going to take in what you're saying, then you're going to allow it. So you already prejudge the situation.
Nah, not even just age though. But carry on saying what you're
I'm
saying.
saying I don't feel like you should even look at it like that. Like, I feel like if you feel like you have not even an opportunity, if you feel like the child's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, then step in. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like it should be a case of they're listening to me, so I'm going to talk to them.
Yeah, because you even remember Divine, what happened at the last event that we had.
Oh yeah.
And those are big boys, like big boys in their late teens, early 20s, and I'm only like 10, 11 years older than you. It got to the point where they were trying to be rude and go on like they want to move to me, and I was like, listen, okay, Melissa, don't act like you would act. You would have acted 10 years ago. Let them know that I can be about that, but I'm coming to you as a respectable woman, and that you need to stop it, because they were looking to cause a huge ruckus against the security guard, and they were having a bit, especially because we were in a bunch, they were trying to take the mick out of me, and then I pulled one of them one away, and I was saying, look, man, and I was explaining to him, and he still tried to come up, but when I spoke to him and the approach I came to him, the boy started calling me mommy. I'm like, hell no, listen, I'm young, you know, let me explain how bothering me. Because of the way I came to him and the way I approached him and how I articulated myself towards him, he could tell that obviously I'm from the, as people say, I'm from the end, but I'm showing you from a different perspective rather than coming up to you and rah-rah and pointing up fingers and going, I'm bad.
No, I hear ya, and I'd listen to you, but when I'm saying it, because I'm saying it, listen, I'm saying it from as in I know how I was as a youth, and when growing up with like me and that, the only time I was really listening to people, is if it was old black people. I'll be honest, I swear to ya. Whereas now, I feel like that's changed. I feel like the youths them ain't even rating the old black people. I feel like they're listening to people my age. If they know, even me, like, all right, then little things like, when you're in you and growing up and that, and normally you rate the road, blah blah, this and that, football, this and that. So with me in a tracksuit and blah blah, and then just talking to them a certain way, and they know where I'm from or whatever, they will listen to me, kind of thing. But if it was different sort of kids or people, I don't know if I'd intervene, because I don't think, because literally when I'm saying, I'm not taking in what you're saying, I don't even think it will get to the point where you're telling me the message. I'm not listening to you, and I weren't rude, but I just think you can't be telling me nothing, kind of thing.
That's how a couple of them boys acted, but there was one in particular that was like, you know what? I'm
saying,
he told me straight. At first, I went listening to what you was gonna say, but the way how you've come at me, I can't do nothing but respect what you're saying, because you're not chatting SHIT.
No,
he said to me.
but my point is,
he said if it was a geezer,
all right then,
my age trying to talk to him, he would have never listened. That's what he said to me. If it was a guy my age talking to him, he would have never listened, because he would have been like, yo, big man, you can't tell me nothing. And then when he says it's true how I've come to him, that's why you listen. So sometimes I feel like it's your approach, and I feel like for you to say that, you must have a little bit more faith in yourself that you can articulate yourself and get someone to listen.
Nah, but this is,
get the whole group to listen.
This is what I'm saying though. If that was someone else, this is what I was about to say to her. If that was a old white woman or whatever, or like you said, a male, even a black male, they wouldn't have listened though. So in that situation, I feel like you was right to do. You get what I'm trying to say? And I probably would have took in what you were saying.
It was a risk because of what they did before that.
Yeah.
It was a risk.
But
because I'm a person, I don't stop until I get through to at least one of you, for you to stop the stuff that you do.
But you know, my point, sorry. But you know, like you said, you're from a certain place, you're grown a certain way, and blah, all of them things played a part, and they've realised that as well. So certain people can't say, like, there's nothing to relate to if they wouldn't have come from that, like, oh, yo, I can do road if you need to do road, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you this is the way to tell you this, and blah, blah, and blah, blah. And then that's when the respect comes. But if that was someone else, or you didn't have that background from before, I don't think they would have took you in.
Whoa.
So it's a kind of thing where Yeah, I don't know, man.
I hear what he's saying, but then I also think, though, when safe to do so, the reason why it's still important is who else is going to do it? Who else is going to do it? Because in that situation, I remember, like, it was either going to be that nobody's going to get involved and it's going to escalate between them and the security guard and the whole event is going to be ruined. Or tomorrow, or it can even be like, you know, when you see things the next day and you're like, it's on the newspaper now, or something stupid has happened, all because you could have just been like, do you know what I mean, if you go with the nice, normal approach, personally, obviously I do get it, kids will be kids, but I would like to think that there is some part of a human that no matter who you are, who you're faced with, if they're talking to you nicely, some part of you, inside of you, you would be fighting your pride. It'll be between you and your pride of like, okay, I want to listen, but realistically, if that person's talking to you like a normal human being, there's no reason as to why somebody else should, do you know what I mean? Calm the situation down.
That's the thing. When I first was talking to the boys, I was saying to them, because you know, you had a couple, you know, you got each different personality in the group, and some of them were laughing, and I'm saying, listen, if you're going to take the piss, yes, excuse my French, you can leave now, you know, I won't even make you come in here. Like, the security guard's out of it now, I'm security. If you're gonna take the mic, the doors, you're standing right by the door, you can go now. Do you understand? So it was a standoff it was a whole shebang, do you get me? And I was thinking, whoa, this may get out of control right about now. But I had to still keep going to diffuse the situation, because what we do is not know, as I would say, sitting. We're doing something proper for the community and make people know that black people can do things for themselves in a proper way. So I didn't have no choice but to stand up for that situation and be like, listen, cut that out. This is not what we're doing here. There's children here, and even if there weren't children here, this is not what we're doing. This is business. Do you understand?
And I think your situation was more serious.
So what are we saying then? Conclusion?
Okay, conclusion.
Bloody hell! Oh my gosh!
It's been a good one though. But I've got one last question. Quick question.
It does take a village.
Yeah.
It does take a village. It does take a
What's
village.
your question, Tanaka?
My question is not actually related. Well, it is related to this, but it's not about directly. Like, so what are you guys saying? If I see someone on the bus, yeah, because this has been happening to me a lot. I don't know if it's up north, guys. I'm not cussing up north. You know, I love Manchester, but it is different. I told you, Divine. If I see a girl whose skirt is literally, guys, like, I can see beyond. I'm not exactly Mother Teresa herself, so I'm here for the short skirt, huh?
What?
Because they're different.
That's
Honestly,
what I was
different-
about.
different-
That's
different
different. You
girls.
see, with that though,
It's different girls. I called you and said, is it a thing of up north? What is going on? Because where else, in my school, yeah, if your skirt was that high, you're getting called bad names, basically. No one's here, no one's rating that. I don't know what is around it. Do you think I can say to someone, babe?
But when you're,
I can see.
Or write them a little note and pass it to them, and then go walk off the bus.
Because you know what? I was thinking about it deeply because I see it and I think, okay, I might leave it because I don't want to offend her or nothing. I don't want to embarrass her either. And I'll take it quietly.
Send her-
But you don't know who else on the bus. That man could be taking a picture of all up there. Do you know what I mean? He could be getting off this and you're just walking around thinking you're nice. I don't get it.
but did it just like I feel like it's different if that's the norm for them. Kind of thing.
I don't
Like
know,
you
I'm
see,
not
all right then.
it.
Say if someone was cussing me on a blah blah, and I know in myself I'm not supposed to be doing that, then I'll probably hear what you're saying. If you've said it properly, cool. I hear what you're saying and whatnot. But if that's the norm to me, so if that's the norm and how they dress, and their mum and dad ain't saying nothing to them,
Yeah, I don't
when
know.
you're
That's why I've
saying
not
that,
said anything.
this
Is it the same school?
No, well, probably
the same
because
school,
it's,
then like it's.
I don't know.
And the school kids anyway. That's what we used to do back in school. We used to roll past skirts, like.
well, I
So
did,
this
but
is
to
what-
a certain point. I mean, my mum, the way I used to leave my skirt is the same way I'll come back home with the same skirt. And Sasha does roll up her skirt. Do you know what I mean? But
Oh my gosh, you're gonna pay her out.
What? She does. It's not bad though. I've told her. I've said like, I think you should. I mean, crack on. People do it all the time. But there's levels to this. I mean, what more do you want people to see? Man, take it off.
I think you shouldn't intervene.
Yeah.
It's just when and how.
Listen,
kind of
I
thing.
don't know.
People would
I think
actually strip your
with
skirt.
that, when it comes to girls rolling up their skirts, because they used to do that when I was at school. But I think when it comes to that, I think it would take more than just to, as you say, just write a note when you call us the boss or whatever the case may be or whatever. That is a whole sit down, full-blown conversation to figure out.
Well,
why
I saw this
people do
girl,
that.
and I honestly, I was so concerned. I was like,
still,
Right,
even,
all right then.
Even you just saying, I know it's a sit down conversation, but still, just put the thing in area.
she had her hand like.
No,
I don't think you should put their thing in their ear though.
Not to say everyone's the same, but he probably was like, who's this telling me or whatever.
No, I get it. No, she. But the thing is,
The
she knew her
one
skirt was short
people
because
sit down.
she kept like, holding, like, you know, when you get your hand and you're like doing that, trying to cover. I'm like, baby, you don't need to cover it. You're not lacking of material there. Just pull it down one roll and Storm Dennis is going
Just blow that ass up.
He's going to get you, like, we're going to see all.
It's just attention seeking. It's just attention seeking. So obviously, I don't know, you've got something wrong.
I'd write her a note, brethren. I'd write her a note.
If I see it again, but I do see a few and I think,
I'd write her a note.
Yeah.
A really sweet note to say, hi, babe, like, you know, you look absolutely amazing when you go to school. However, why don't you just roll your skirt down one more time? Because blah, 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 blah. I'd rather send her a note and she can have that for life, brethren. And she can read it every time she needs reminders.
See it again.
She's going to screw that up. It would take.
We don't know if she's going to screw it up or not.
Well, she does. It's not my bum.
Exactly, you've done what you've done. You've done what you need to do.
I was worried because I don't know if her parents might allow it.
Conversation to say to the child, look, man, what's the reason why you do this? And then she'll answer, and it's like, well, I guarantee you there will be something other than what you're seeing in that child.
Yeah,
what? She's rolled up her skirt, so it wouldn't just take putting the book in her ear. It wouldn't take that. She's looking attention from somewhere that she's not supposed to be looking attention from, because that's the whole reason why you're rolling up your skirt. I seen it today. I seen the same thing today. When I went to drop off sanity salt, sanity salt.
Her mum and that could be doing it though, so she's just probably not even... Or like just doing little things like that. It's not that deep to them, so she's not seeing it as a thing where it's that deep.
When I used to roll up my skirt at school, I didn't do it because... But when I used to roll up my skirt at school, I didn't do it because my nan was not rolling up her skirt. I wasn't doing it because of that. I was doing it because everybody else was doing it.
No, but I'm saying as in at home, it's not a problem to them. You weren't doing that in front of your nan.
No, but some people, when they get home, unroll their skirt.
So go on.
I guarantee you, a lot of them girls that's what, because as I said, they used to do when I was in school, a lot of them girls that's rolling up their skirts all of this as well helped me how to raise my daughter. A lot of these people that are rolling up their skirts, these girls that are rolling up their skirts, don't feel like just because they're going home after school that they're seeing any form of parents in that house when they go back home. The parents at work, if the parents are at work, the parents gallanting Pond Street. Do you understand?
Nah, but all right then.
And if their parents are at home in the morning, that skirt is how they bought the skirt in Marks and Spencer or in Asda or in so. They roll it up when they've left the house.
Yeah, that's what I said. They roll it up.
The skirt was long enough.
Because if that was the case and parents were fine with it, the parents would have bought them a short.
No, but
my mum said to me, because she used to roll up her skirt, my mum said to me when I went to pick my uniform, she said, listen, because obviously she knew the school, innit? She saw it as well. She's like, what skirt? I said to her, I don't want a long skirt. And she knew me anyway. I said, I don't want a long skirt. She said, okay, let's go together. Let's think here. And we actually had this conversation. She's like, okay, I can understand you don't want a long skirt. My mum is not some like, you know what I mean? She thinks she's a fashionista. She's reasonable. She's like, okay, let's see. What do you think? And I picked the skirt that honestly I didn't even have to do all of that because my skirt was exactly at the length that I wanted to do. And about that village thing, Dior's dad, Dior's like my childhood friend who's like basically like a neighbour. He said to me, "Can you see where your skirt is here? Till year 11, that's where your skirt's gonna be." And he took me to my first day of school. That's exactly what he said to me. So I don't want to see you with your skirt like that.
Right, move off the school, not the school thing, but all right. Where I've seen it is with not every young mum, but it's kind of frequent with young mums. Then when I've seen their daughters, and I'm looking at them and they're young, they're in some mad clothing that I know. Like I'd be thinking, put it this way, if it was my little cousin or my little sister,
you wouldn't have it.
Yeah, I'm not having it.
Yeah,
but I know that. Well, it's like obviously if their mum's moving like that and they've not said nothing to them, then
you can't say anything.
They are not gonna take like. All right, then say them kids that were saying run up in my shop and I like them, but they're reading that. They don't go to school. They're 13, so sometimes I start work at 10. And they're in there like 2 o'clock. And I asked them, why not at school, blah, 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 this and that. So with them now, but we've got and even when they first come in, I never said nothing to them the first time they come into that shop. Obviously, they've come in regular, then we started talking and that. But with school, I don't say nothing to them about school because it's clear their parents know, they probably don't even respect school or whatever like that, and it's in them. So the school thing's dead. But when they're talking about, like they're saying they're running from security is watching me, this person, I'll tell them, bro, with little things like your hood, how you're doing certain things around the clothes and blah, 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 move proper in boring and that, so you're not attracting. That's what I'll preach them with. I don't even say a word about the school thing because I know them clearly that's not serious to them. Their mum and daddy, it's not serious to them either. So they ain't going to listen. So why am I talking about that's the kind of thing?
But they might listen.
You never know. Yeah, you never know.
All right, bro.
Conclusions.
Bro, we're hungry. I'm so starving. We need to leave.
It's been a good one though.
Way past time.
No. Thanks so much, Melissa.
Yeah,
You're a bad man every time.
Fine. And big up Mally on that comment that he made the other day. I had to put it on.
I'm about to say.
What, the sex in the morning? Yo, we need a poll on that, Dan, but say no.
All right, cool.
But yeah, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
All right, then see you later, love.
Word up, see you later.
Bye.
Don't even think there's much more to say, you know.
Honestly,
Wait, listen,
bro.
sorry, we ain't ran one rhythm, you know. That's how the convo's been running.
We haven't had a
You lot
break.
didn't clock. I clocked this about 40 minutes. I looked at the time, it said 10 to 9. I thought, oh, not one song.
Oh my
I thought
God.
there's no point running one now. Can I pick the song now? To end that.
All right, yeah, let's end on. We'll play you out with some tunes. You guys have got us till 5:30, so there's gonna be just tunes from
Just
here.
straight rhythms,
Oh
Dan.
my gosh!
So good, man. So good. I clocked
yeah.
it. I was gonna say
I'm
it's
starving
done.
though.
Right, same.
You're hungry? I've kind of had
Which one is it? That one
my
there?
meal deal.
That one there.
Don't think.
But in
it's
conclusion,
coming,
I think
no?
that it takes a village. What do you think, Tanaka?
Always takes a village.
What do you
man.
think, Mally? Don't say depends. Just say yes or no. We ain't got time for any more discussion.
Because
I'm more leaning
you lot
on
have
no,
gone
though.
into deep in deep.
No, but you're more leaning no. What, if you had a child tomorrow, what are you saying?
Nah.
You're not
If it's
gonna-
not outside the family, nah.
You're not gonna let me in divine help your children.
Nah, you can help and that, but I just don't think.
No, you can.
What I'm saying, as in what you're saying, I don't think they're taking it in, kind of thing. Have you not got YouTube on it?
Oh, guys,
Brethren.
play the tune.
No adverts, brethren. We ain't doing that advert business.
Spotify. What's wrong with Spotify? Run
Have you got Apple Music?
Spotify.
Have you got
to
Apple
find-
Music?
No, I don't. I have Spotify.
my
He's trying to find some exclusive song that's not on Spotify. It's not on Spotify. It's dead.
It's not official. It's not
Listen,
official.
bruv, this is what I'm saying. This is why I don't know how.
Well, that means no song, man. Are you gonna play us a song or not?
So yeah, let's just say.
So yeah, at us guys, make sure you give our opinions, message us. Obviously, we're on Twitter now, so tweet us or
Yeah,
message
man.
us on Insta. All of that. Obviously, all the recap is gonna go on Spotify. So if you missed it, then you can watch back on Spotify. But thanks
I've
for
got it.
tuning in. You got it. You playing it?
I got the
Right,
tune.
guys, it's been
Easy.
nice. It's been nice. We're locked out.
Hold it.